the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Resolution number 39 of 2017, local law number 1 of 2017. Whereas the town board of the Town of Chatham is considering a local law to provide for a reduction of the number of members of the Zoning Board of Appeals. And whereas a public hearing is required before the enactment of said local law. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Chatham hereby directs that a public hearing will be held by the Town Board of the Town of Chatham on January 19, 2017 at 6 p.m. at the Town of Chatham Town Hall to hear all interested parties regarding the adoption of the proposed local law entitled Local Law Number 1 of the year 2017 to provide for a reduction in the number of Zoning Board of Appeals members from 7 to 5, pursuant to Town Law, Section 267, and be it further resolved that the town clerk is hereby directed to publish the notice of hearing in the official newspaper as designated by the town board, and that copies of the said proposed law are available for review at the town clerk's office. So we'll open up the public hearing at 6:02. Do you have any comment on local law number 1?
If there's no comments, I make a motion to close the public hearing.
Thank you, Dennis. Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Well, we're beginning a new year, and this is our first regular meeting of the new year, and I'd like to take a few minutes to speak to the town board and the people of Chatham. And I'm calling this the 2017 State of the Town. I'm honored to be your town supervisor and for being able to make some remarkable changes for the town of Chatham. Together we've accomplished important things in 2016. The state of the town is changing, and the community expects more from their town government, which in the past has been slow to respond. The town of Chatham is leaner, it is stronger, and it is now strategically prepared to meet the challenges of the future. Last year, once we learned of the town's fiscal stress, we escaped a serious financial crisis by immediately acting and suspending all but our legally contracted responsibilities. The town of Chatham is thinking smarter, and it is actively and successfully planning for our new economic reality. We have met the challenge and have built a budget for 2017, which will allow the town to be able to adequately save funds for extraordinary and unpredictable expenditures, while spending funds for the true cost of operating the government. In addition, we have found alternatives in both the short term and the long term to solve the budget problems, and we fixed a tax rate that was under the 0.68% state tax cap. These actions have established a sustainable course and a solid financial planning for the future. This town board has accomplished much in 1 year. The 2015 and 2016 accounts were completely rebuilt with all invoices correctly appropriated to enable the new town accounting firm to complete the required annual update document required by the New York State Comptroller. When the town was informed by the accounting firm of the 2015 budget deficit, an immediate spending freeze was initiated, and each department and function of government was reviewed. The 2017 town budget was completely restructured to improve the understanding of the town's expenditures and revenues and show how residents' tax dollars are spent. In 2017 budget, we challenged every budget line item with the goal of minimizing town property tax increases without sacrificing services. We negotiated a fair and solid 4-year collective bargaining contract with the Highway Department and the Teamsters Union. Titles for town employees were changed to ensure compliance with the New York State civil service categories. We opened appointed positions on boards and committees for all interested candidates to be interviewed by the town board, providing an opportunity for new residents to serve. We assessed the needs of the town board subcommittees and established 5 committees: Citizens Finance and Planning Committee, Comprehensive Plan Implementation Advisory Committee, Climate Smart Committee, Recreation Commission, Communications Committee. All committees are staffed by citizens serving in advisory capacity to the town board. The town employee personnel handbook has been updated with the completion of the health insurance and compensation section of the manual, which is entitled the Compensation and Benefits Manual. The 2016 town board met 39 times. This does not include meetings of some committees for which each town board member is responsible. Through working with Trout Unlimited, we received a grant for $287,500 to repair the collapsed culvert under the old railroad bed in Riders Mills, and an engineering grant for the culvert under Riders Mills Road, valued at $6,000. Many people have great ideas for the improvement of Chatham while maintaining different opinions of what the ideal Chatham would be. I try my best to fulfill your expectations. However, I cannot please everyone. Keeping an open line of communication with the supervisor is very important. I'm always available to meet to discuss any citizen's concern. As we start a new year, there will be bumps in the road, but I will work hard to address and correct them. Chatham has many good, positive things happening. If we work respectfully and harmoniously together with unselfish purpose and with a common interest, there's nothing that we cannot achieve. Chatham is very lucky to have so many citizens who volunteer their time and energy on the various boards and committees. Thank you for giving of your talents and ideas. It's important to thank those residents who recently completed their terms and those who we will appoint tonight. We are reminded that Chatham would not be the wonderful town that we all love without the generous spirit of volunteerism. On behalf of the town board, thank you all. A special thank you goes to Joe Rickert, our highway superintendent, for the great job that you do, and a thank you to our highway department employees for their hard work in keeping our roads in good repair and safe for all to travel on. Please carry that back to them.
Thank you, Emma.
Another special thank you to Tammy Shore, our budget officer, for taking on the responsibility, working on the budget, and keeping the accounting department running smoothly. And thank you to Beth Ann Ripple, our town clerk. She's had 39 meetings to transcribe the minutes. Thank you to all the department heads for your excellent leadership, and thank you to all our town employees for your diligent efforts. Thank you to the town board, which has worked tirelessly throughout this past year in the 39 town board meetings we have convened. I look forward to working with all of you during the upcoming year. During the past year as your supervisor, I extend my appreciation and thank you to all of Chatham's residents for their support. I truly enjoy serving you all, and thank you for your compliments, your recommendations, and your criticisms. Without criticism, improvement cannot take place. I enjoy speaking with you in the supermarket, on Main Street in the village, at community gatherings, and at the town hall. Please keep the line of communication open and continue to reach out to me. If you'd like to meet with me, please feel free to call me at the town hall. There are several items on our agenda for the future year. We will implement a revised zoning code. To improve communications, we plan to continue to upgrade our town website to improve its interactive features and making it easier to navigate. We are establishing a policy for the town's Facebook page, and we try to make the town board minutes available in a timely fashion. We are working on the New York State Department of Conservation certification program as Climate Smart Community that recognizes demonstrated municipal accomplishments in the reduction of greenhouse gas emissions and energy use and adaptation to changing climate conditions. We will further update the town employee personnel handbook with 2 additional sections: employment practices manual and work rules and procedures. We will continue to work to improve Crellin Park, and if the residents are interested, we will expand the activities in the park. If the Village Board of Trustees is interested in the town's assistance, we will continue to hold discussions on the village and town sharing office space in the Tracy Memorial Building. We will continue to work on town infrastructure by repairing town culverts and seeking grants to fund infrastructure improvements. We are having discussions with CSX on the Albany Turnpike Bridge and Route 295 intersection reconfiguration, hoping to enlist their participation in the construction costs. It is our goal to spend residents' hard-earned dollars as efficiently and wisely as possible. In closing, I thank my fellow town board members, Bob Balcom, Landra Haber, John Wapper, and Henry Schwartz, for their commitment, service, and engagement. I look forward to working with the town board and town staff in 2017 to continue running a good government responsive to the needs of the residents and responsible to our community. May God bless you all, and God bless America, and God bless our beautiful town of Chatham. I hope that will be something that we can do annually. Okay. Under correspondence, we received a letter and a wonderful report from the Chasing Companies, and it came from Barbara Beal, although the engineer that worked on it was named Urbane Mead. And this engineering report is for the culvert under Riders Mills Road. So the report's been sent over to Joe, and now, along with Jason and Trout Unlimited, we'll start looking for grants to work on that culvert. We had a letter, an email rather, from the Burgess family, and they have a culvert that's behind their property in Old Chatham off of 13. It's on the Angel Brook, and that culvert needs work. Joe went down there, what, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
So on February 3rd, we'll be meeting with Trout Unlimited and DEC and the Burgess and Joe, myself, to take a look at that culvert. I don't know, is it difficult to get down there?
Yeah, well, through his backyard, it's, you can get to the outlet end. If you want to go over to see the inlet, yeah, you're gonna need some boots. It's just to let you know, from what I've viewed of it, I couldn't walk through it because there was too much water going through at the time, so I'm hoping for a slower flow so I can actually walk through it, but it just looks like it's a repair on the outlet side. A little bit of inlet side work to be done to it, but I took a bunch of photos, I sent them on to Maria. It just looks like we need to repair that outlet. So it really is not a major, something I think we can do pretty simply, other than historically laying up the stone the way it used to be. I mean, I got plenty of photos of the one side that's left. The left side is what's fallen in and collapsed, and the right side is belongs to the world. So no, definitely is repairable.
Good, thank you. Okay, this is a public comment statement. The Chatham Town Board appreciates information received from the public during the public comments portion of each meeting, which often is very helpful in the governance of the town. It is, however, not intended to be a debate on the public or a question-answer period. Issues raised during the public comment may be addressed to the board during its regular meeting or by the supervisor between meetings as necessary. As a courtesy to the other members of the public, there's a 5-minute per person limitation on oral comments for each public comment period. The public is also encouraged to provide the board with written comments or materials when the subject matter cannot be presented in this time frame. Of course, while the board discourages any remarks which may be considered defamatory or stigmatizing, it will not restrict the content of the public comment. Okay. Public comment. Could you please state your name?
It's been a long time since I had anything to say. Adele Kleiman, Ravine, Old Chatham. I just want to let everybody know, well, the board know, that I'm aware that Joe has not heard anything from DOT, and the engineers have not had any response from DOT. So I called Dawn Arnold a couple of weeks ago, and she promised me that she would be on it and that she would speak with Joe. I found out tonight that she has not done that, so I will be calling her again, and I'm going to tell her that if she wants to see the over 350 signatures that we presented to the town board and to the state senator, I would gladly drop some off at her office.
Great, thank you.
I'm Rick Werways. I'm the president of the North Chatham Free Library. Recently, tax statements went out from the town, as they do every year. But there was a difference this year, and that is, and I think rightly so, the town board decided to break out the tax allocation that goes to the North Chatham Library. So you're seeing that for the first time on your tax bills this year. It says it's a 100% increase. And actually that is only, I'm assuming, a systematic, because it's new to the system this year and it was never there before. It shows that way. But the fact of the matter is that number has been the same, $65,000, since 2003. And the story behind this tax allocation to the North Chatham Free Library is that the state legislature, a long time ago, allowed for libraries to have a ballot initiative to ask the town to tax itself to support the libraries. And you will often see in Kinderhook, for example, signs that say support the library, because they are doing another ballot initiative almost every other year in Kinderhook and other towns around it. North Chatham Library hasn't done one since 2003. And so next year on your tax bill, that'll be a 0% increase. The only way that that number can go up and down is through another ballot initiative. And so in 2003, when we took this to the town, the people of this town, we had to gather the equivalent of, I think I have this right, but close enough, 10% of the registered voters in town had to sign a petition that we then had to present to the board. The board then had to place this on the ballot. The library people campaigned all over the town of Chatham. Back then there were 4 voting districts, and the tax passed overwhelmingly in all 4 voting districts in Chatham. It wasn't like it was skewed by the northern half of the town or anything like that. So I think everybody deserves to know that they're supporting the North Chatham Free Library with their taxes. I fine with having it on the tax bill. I'm just a little concerned that 100% could be confusing or misleading to people. So I'm going to write a letter to the editor of, unfortunately, our only local paper anymore, outlining this as well. I expect that down the road, as the programming at the library continues to grow, we may very well ask the town people of Chatham for another increase through another ballot initiative, and then that would be their decision to vote it up or down. We would have to make our case, like we did in 2003 when we took this out and ran a marketing public relations campaign to get it passed. For those of you who aren't familiar with the library, I'm urging you to please come check it out. It is a gem of a library. Your money is well spent. We have over 100 volunteers on an annual basis. These are people who at the front desk, who sit on committees, who run programs. We are delivering close to 40 programs a year for seniors, other citizens, for students. We did a reading program, we've done a math program, and we've had thousands of people go through our programs a year. And this is what Chatham is getting in return for that $65,000. So, and there's some of our volunteers are here tonight. Some of them sit on the board. So I urge you to come by, check out the library, check out our Facebook page, see how your tax dollars are being spent. You're getting a fantastic return on your investment. So, and if there's ever any questions, we're happy to answer.
I might add, you're having a fundraiser there.
Yes, right. Oh, thank you, Rick. Yes, January 27th. Our budget is over $100,000 a year at the library. So that $65,000 is, the core of the library's budget. But we raise the rest through fundraisers. And so we do a series of them through the year. You may be familiar with Books and Blooms in May. You may be familiar with our traveling dinner that we do all over Northern Columbia County. A wine tasting. Oh, I can't think of them all. But on January 27th, we're having a cocktail party in the Creamery at North Chatham. And if you've never seen that location, one of our board members took the old Creamery in North Chatham and turned it into an absolutely delightful residence, perfect for big parties. And so, yeah, it's fabulous. So we're very lucky that way, and we'll be having that fundraiser Saturday, January 27th. It's called Chase the Chill. And then we just need some cold weather. So, hope to see you all there.
Maria, would that be something that we could put on our Facebook page? But he explains that budget line item, that would save us some work. It'd be a good spot to put that. Public notice.
Why don't you send me your letter that you're going to?
Yeah, I'm happy to write that up.
And we do have two newspapers.
We do?
Columbia.
Yeah.
Columbia paper, and it's still the Chatham Courier. It's in the Register Star.
Yeah. I bought that Thursday edition. We have one paper.
Yeah, I don't think I could express it as eloquently as Rick did.
State your name.
Oh, Randy Walker in Chatham Center. So I appreciate everything that Rick said. I'm also on the board of the Chatham Library, and so when I first got my tax bill, it was upsetting to me because I know I was here during the budget discussions, and it was explicitly asked, how does this money work? And I spoke up, and I do remember Henry saying, so this is not a new increase, and I said, yes, it's not a new increase, and we repeated that. So it, I guess just the way it's presented to the public, it is, a little upsetting, because it looks to people like you've done a good job on reducing the budget deficit, but it looks like there's this new item. So I hope it was just the way it has to be presented on our bill for the first time. And I want to point out, this is the only library in the town of Chatham.
Yes. That is true.
Any other comment? Okay, we'll move on to Kate, not here.
Yeah, I suspect, probably what happened was the time was a problem, but it was 7.
All right, we'll move on with the
Might be
reports.
something else, but no, that's her. She was coming.
Okay, we have a Subcommittee reports, Councilwoman Hager and Wapner on Crellin Park.
Well, we continue to meet. Our next commission meeting is Monday, and on the agenda, I think top on the agenda is working on new funding mechanisms, fundraising mechanisms, and how to best go about that. So I think the commission will discuss that issue. I think also, a second item is how to increase awareness of the park as a resource, get more people involved there in addition to the facilities that we really are adding on as we go. And Kate, coming tonight, is one of them. She's proposed a new children's garden on a site that's separate from the garden as it exists now. And I think another thing that's happened is I did go to the school board. Landra and I were there along with several other people, including Mike, and got a really good reception of the school board in terms of connecting with them as partners for kids in the park. They at that meeting, well, actually before that, in November, the students agreed to do a survey, which they completed, and will be discussed at the next meeting, of types of facilities they're interested in, activities they're interested in the park. And we'll also be discussing, I'll be back at school on January 30th to meet with several teachers about the beginning of simple kind of community service things that they can do. They're interested in, for instance, building benches through their technology program. I'm not sure that benches are the right way to start, but we'll pursue different small ways of beginning partnerships with them. So there's a lot going on, and hopefully, it'll be a good summer season in the park.
John, did you want to read your report?
Well, I will if you want me to. I had prepared this when Maria was working on her comments, her annual statement. She asked that committee heads give her material. So this is the material I presented to Maria, and if you want me to read it, I will. It's a more detailed report of the year, really. When we started, we really started from scratch in terms of this administrative structure. So I'll read this just to kind of bring us up to date for the entire year. In January of 2016, Supervisor Lull appointed a recreation, then called committee, to develop a plan to deal with Crellin Park and more generally recreation programs in the town of Chatham. Soon after that, the board was faced with the resignation of the part-time recreation director. Before the committee could begin assessing its mission, there was the immediate issue of finding a replacement and ensuring that the day camp for the summer of 2016 would take place as scheduled. The board interviewed several excellent candidates and hired Mike West, who quickly stepped in, secured permits and everything else that was required, and ran a highly successful summer camp, providing service to as many families in the town of Chatham and surrounding towns that had been served previously. As this was progressing, the Recreation Commission began its initial meetings, focusing first on an administrative structure, bylaws, mission statement, and membership. Emerging from those discussions is a Recreation Commission comprised of concerned citizens, some of whom represent other institutions that provide recreation services to our citizens. At least one town board member and the recreation director serving as a non-voting member. As deliberations for this new group were taking place, the commission that was forming and town government began addressing the interest in new and expanding programs in Crellin Park. The first expansion was the Chatham Reds, a Little League organization that builds on traditional Little League by expanding the season and playing on a larger field. The town contracted with the Reds to offer a new home field at the park, which had been the old softball field. The Reds took on the job of reclaiming the old field and will soon be building dugouts and will offer the town a part of the revenue they collect from concessions. Then the Lions Club proposed to install horseshoe pits and have 2 tournaments during the summer. The board has not finalized that contract, but is well on its way to completion. Soon after that, Kate Denny, director of the Children's Garden, developed a proposal. The Children's Garden already is a successful part of the garden program already offered at the park. It has provided services for summer camp participants for many years. Kate Denny is moving forward to expand her program to a long-term goal of providing educational and recreational services throughout the growing season to children throughout the Chatham School District and beyond. The Recreation Commission will soon help Kate present a proposal to the town board, which might have occurred, we hope to occur this evening, to lease a ½ acre of land in Crellin Park as a new home for this program. The Recreation Committee has begun negotiations with the Chatham Central School District to explore ways we can partner to provide recreation, community service, and expanding learning experience for students in the district of all ages. We set a short-term goal of finding relatively easy ways to partner. At the end of January, members of the Recreation Commission will be meeting with middle school and high school teachers to discuss small building projects for the park. As part of their partnership, high school students have completed a survey of interest they have for park facilities and community service projects. As we begin year 2, we have many goals for 2017. The most pressing is to revitalize the funding for Crellin Park. We plan to partner with the existing Crellin Park Foundation and develop new ways of sustained funding. We need to update a list of maintenance projects and improvements to park facilities. There's Kate. We need to increase our community's use of the park and awareness of it as a town asset that more citizens can enjoy. We need to develop the partnerships we have started and find more programming for the park. The Commission is authorized by the town board. Its job is to advise the board about recreational policy and programs. During this year, the Commission will offer the board a clear suggestion for overall policy for recreational services for the town of Chatham. Definitive direction and details of those policy recommendations have yet to be debated by the Commission. That's what I submitted to you as a kind of year summary.
That segues right into Kate's
Yeah,
presentation.
Hi, sorry.
Why don't you
I thought the meeting started at 7.
that's what I thought you thought. And I think when we wrote it, it was going to start at 7, but then it changed. You
Okay, good. So it makes me feel a little bit better. That's so bad.
want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I have a little something to read, so I'll just pull it up. My name is Kate Denny. I'm the program director for the Chatham Children's Garden. I've been responsible for overseeing all aspects of the Children's Garden, including programs and enrollment for the past 3 summers. During that time, interest in these programs has grown significantly, and for the past 2 years, we have turned a large number of children away because we operate in a very small space. It's 15 by 30 feet. The space can't possibly keep up with production for our programs either, as we spend a lot of time creating meals together, and kids are invited to take home vegetables to share with their families throughout the summer. I'm here requesting use of a ½ acre of land to the west of the skate park. Granting this request would allow the inclusion of a greater number of children and families by allowing the Children's Garden to offer additional summer programming, after-school programs, homeschool programs, and specialized programming by local educators and professionals. We are already exploring possible collaborations and are in conversation with the Chatham Central School District about ways to develop a program that would start seeds in their newly purchased greenhouses, which could be used during summer programs at Crellin Park. We're also hoping to offer programs aimed at adults in botanical drawing, plant dyeing, culinary arts, herbalism, and cosmetic production. In addition to all that the Children's Garden can do with this new space, it is also worth noting that the Community Garden has graciously supported this growth, but was never intended to house a program of this magnitude. By granting us this space, the Community Garden could reallocate our current gardens to household plots, which are increasingly in demand, and return the Community Garden to the serene space it has long been. In a community that provides roughly 40% of their public school students with lunch assistance and prides themselves on their rich agricultural roots, the approval of this request and the growth of our Children's Garden would provide immense benefit to the community. We are offering this service at no cost to the town, and asking for no financial backing. We're just looking for a place to go. Thank you. Do you have any questions?
How many children do you think you would be able to, or how would, let's say, how can you expand the program from what it was to what you envision it to be?
Sure. So we have, in the past years, really only done the 6 weeks program, which only includes children that go to the town camp. I wish I had counted how many kids we turned away, because after a while we would just say registration is full, so we can't take any more, and that's about 50 kids. So there's lots of kids that don't go there. We had a couple of kids this year that came that were outside the Chatham School District and they registered just for the morning program with us. We had quite a few kids in our intensive camp, which we've only offered 1 week of in the past 2 years, which we could offer more of if we had the space, that came from outside the school district or from homeschool families. So after school programs, homeschool programs, adult programs, would really bring a lot of people in that aren't part of the town camp right now.
So, you're asking just for land from us, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But how are you funding? Through the Crellin Park Foundation, or
Well,
fundraising,
that's how I've funded through grants and fundraising, donations, for the past 3 years. We continue in that way. I've already put out a call to try and build my own board and start my own nonprofit so that we can actually work in the schools also, because the Crellin Park Foundation is just in the park. They've been really great to us, but it's a little bit of a limitation too, I think. So we would also be offering programs that would be tuition based, and I'd want to be able to keep them still on a sliding scale, but with our intensive camps each year, we've done that and we've let people pay what they could, and we've always come out on top, so.
What did you anticipate the cost of running the water line? Did you come up with?
I have a number in my proposal. For the whole first build out, it would be between $23,000 and $4,000, $2,300 and $4,000, depending on what kind of labor we can get help with.
So is that something that you're prepared to underwrite?
Yeah, I mean, for just a 7-week program last year, we were able to raise over $12,000. We have money sitting right now that would actually, we could afford that. But with all other costs, I don't want to basically blow our budget out. So we're having a fundraiser on the 25th. That will be a brunch. And then also there's a woman that contacted me from a crowdfunding site that helps new nonprofits specifically, that thinks that we can raise that money that way. So I think there's a lot of options. And we've also identified quite a few grants that we could apply for.
We would need some kind of a contract with
Right, with the organization.
the organization. This is our town
I'm
attorney.
South Carolina, so I'm the town chair.
You actually donated to us last year.
I did donate.
Yeah, thank you.
Do
What's
that.
the question? I'm sorry.
Well, we would just need to know the name of your organization and to have some kind of lease agreement, so that you would have the exclusive use of that half acre, right?
Yeah, yes.
Nobody could else
Nobody
touch
else, yeah.
And-
I mean, well, other groups would be able to come through us, but yeah.
Right, you would have the initial review. And then the building, you said 30 by 15, is that just a structure there?
Oh, no, that's just the space we have right now.
Okay.
So it would expand our space a lot, which is why we've had to turn so many families away. We just can't really produce more food in that small space, so, yeah. I think the only structure we would really have is a small shed just for tool storage or any kind of storage like that. And then sort of just a roofed structure to use as an outdoor space or a rain gathering space.
Do you guys have insurance in case kids cut their fingers on?
Yeah, I don't have it right now. Like I said, I'm going through this whole process of starting a nonprofit. So I priced it with the insurance that the town uses, Metswood, and they said that it would cost me around $1,000 a year.
Okay. So we can work out the deals once
Yeah.
the board makes a decision.
Yes. Any other questions?
I don't see a negative.
Sounds like a wonderful opportunity.
Thanks.
Yes.
May I make a comment? My name is Elizabeth Grace. I live in Old Chatham, and I've been involved in the community garden at Crellin since its very beginning. And we've had a small children's garden in the community garden almost since the beginning. Also, We've had a number of people who've worked there over the years, and I would say that Kate has been probably the most effective of the people who've run that program. And if she can run a bigger program as well as she's run the small program, I hope the town will support the idea.
Thanks, Kate.
Again, sorry I'm late.
Well, you weren't.
That's
I think-
okay.
I think you're-
You were
you're the
right on
first-
time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. I think what we might do is pass a resolution at the next meeting.
Okay.
Everyone's in agreement.
Sorry.
If you would, you sent in your material and everything, but as you go along with your insurance certificate, just keep in touch with John. And then when we're ready, Sal will put together a lease.
Okay.
Sorry.
Is that okay? With you,
Yeah.
John, and-
Yeah, as long as I can get my computer.
Computer's talking to you? You want to give us an update on your,
Well, the Citizens Financial Planning Committee has, all the members have agreed to come back. Julie Veronese has stepped down so that Mike Blazel could join the group. And our first meeting will be trying to get these people together. A lot of professionals and are busy people. But our first meeting will be February 10th at 1 o'clock here. We'll start off with where we started the last time, with the personnel manual. And hopefully we won't get sidetracked with a budget problem this coming year. But for the board, if you have any priorities in your minds that you want that group to know, just let me know. But right now it'll be focusing on that, getting that manual finished up first, and then looking at some other things. So that's that. And should I hop right into the next one? Okay, then so I wouldn't ramble too much. I did an update on the comprehensive plan implementation advisory group. I'll read that one. So, before I report on the progress of our hardworking volunteers, I wish to correct certain misinformation that is spreading about the community that this advisory group has thrown out the work that was completed by the Zoning Implementation Committee, ZIC, and submitted to the town board in December 2015. That's simply not true. As those attending the town board's public forum in April know, where planning consultant Nan Stolzenberg worked extensively with the town to create the comprehensive plan, the ZIC product forms the basis of the work that is now being undertaken. Soon after that forum, the town board decided to form this committee and utilize Ms. Stolzenberg as our consultant. Phase 1 includes an edit and reorganization by our consultant, which was submitted to our group in late August. This includes a line-by-line review, editing, modifying, posing of questions we consider necessary to clarify the zoning language by our group. Phase 2 will tackle those areas that were not addressed by the ZIC over its 5 years of deliberation. Our goal is to create a readable, understandable, and well-organized document that will eliminate as many of the gray areas as possible. In doing so, we will provide our Planning Board and Zoning Board of Appeals clear direction to make solid, objective decisions that are firmly rooted in and will consistently uphold the goals of the comprehensive plan. To date, we have met 14 times since September. We continue to meet on Wednesdays from 6 to 8 p.m. at the North Chatham Library. We will be meeting with Nan Stolzenberg in February on a date to be determined. That's a new update for you too. We are roughly 75% through phase 1 and hope to have that work completed by middle of February. We have been publicly posting our minutes and updates of our work. The next step will be to present this completed work after full legal review to the town board for their consideration. We welcome any questions and comments the town board and community may have. All documents can be found at planningbetterplaces.com/Chatham. And feel free to contact me. My email address here is bobbalcom.townofchatham@gmail.com. And that's it.
Thank you very much.
Could you do that address again? Not yours.
I'll give you the,
Better
which
plan,
one?
better
Which
plan.
one, Gary? Because here's the full one.
It's on the website.
Yeah, but.
Oh, it's on the website, okay, okay, thank you.
Okay.
Got it.
Okay, Landry?
Yeah, the climate committee has been meeting. Henry and I are the board members on the committee, and we have a really, really great group working with us with Jan Storm and Van Calhoun, and I'm going to forget somebody. I probably should have started mentioning. And we just acquired actually 3 new members with Carla Kavanaugh and Elizabeth Marks and Cara Humphreys. And they're all, they're just all so into the, this whole field, and they're all go-getters, and I think their progress is going to be, I think we're picking up steam now. As it is now, we've completed 2 of the 4 steps needed to become certified as a clean energy community. That's the benchmarking and the unified solar permit. Right now, what we are working on, I actually just spoke with Jim Quinn today, about setting up a preliminary meeting with the NYSERDA people for the state's energy code enforcement training, and we're hoping to, within early February, get our first meeting on that going. And it's a program that's such that it also lends itself to working with other municipalities on. So we're working on that, and we're also working on a solarized campaign that is basically to encourage rooftop solar installations. Although we met last week, there was a presentation. They talked a great deal about the fact that this also can include community solar installations. And Henry, the 2 people were really addressing the issue of the safety of the rooftop. And I want to give you their names to talk to because they seem to have gone into it fairly heavily. But the other piece is I actually was going to be attending a meeting of the Ghent Climate Committee on Wednesday, but the weather was not conducive. They canceled the meeting. Because one of the things we are also continuing looking at is eventually putting in as a project charging stations for electric vehicles. And we are talking about, Ghent is interested in doing something down at in the parking lot by the Kinderhook Bank. And I know the town of Chatham, we've talked about doing something at the other end of the village, and we're hoping that with the 2 towns of Ghent and Chatham being involved with this, we'll be able to persuade the village to come in on it too. It's one of these, that the village would need to sign in for it anyway, but hopefully, because it's one of these win-win situations. There's basically no cost to anybody because the grants are out there. So anyway, it's kind of exciting, and our next meeting is February 13th.
Thank you very much. And Communications Committee.
We were supposed to meet this week, and we're not able to. We're hoping to meet next Friday.
Yeah. I'll let you know.
Okay.
All right, Joe, you're up.
first thing I'm going to report tonight is correspondence. I have 3 of them. One from the town of Lebanon, referencing a resolution for trading labor. The second one is Dave Burgess, which we had spoke about with the culvert on Angel Brook, and Ernesto Puglio, increased salt use in Old Chatham. Second thing is the agreement for expending highway monies, which we've already signed at 284, and that's all set. Third is our inventory. We completed that this month, and I'll hand that over. Oh, you have it? Okay. Do you have?
I'm sure I have.
Give me a copy to keep on file for the highway inventory.
It's big.
Yeah. Big number at the bottom. It's getting bigger. Other thing is we had 2 annual inspections this month, our garage hoist by Hamel Crane Service and our bucket truck from North American Upfitters. The 5th thing on highway maintenance is all the dates that we plowed and sanded. It's been more sanding than plowing, but I won't read them all off to bore anybody. But we've been out quite a bit actually in the last month. It's been a lot of little piddly storms, but you gotta go through the motions. Second thing is brushing weeds. We've been cutting and chipping brush on Cotter Road and Clark Road. We had emergency culvert to replace last week on 7 Bridges Road. Half the road opened up with a sinkhole, probably about 10 to 12 feet deep because the culvert had failed on the bottom. Shared services. We shared our services with the Village of Chatham with their bucket truck, our bucket truck, I'm sorry, taking down the holiday decorations in the village. That's it. Any questions?
No.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Okay, we have on file the code enforcement report, dog report, dog control, justice court, assessor, I think on the recreation director. My report, there was one notation about a communications meeting which was canceled because of weather, so that's the only thing that I'll take out. We have the town accounting, financial report, an abstract, and town clerk.
It's tax time. Need we say more? That's what our focus has been.
Are you getting questions on the library at all?
I've had a few, maybe a handful.
Good. Okay, under new business, we have Chatham Brewing Company. They've requested the use of the jointly owned municipal parking lot for the village, owned by the village and the town, for their anniversary party on March 4th. Tom, do you want to come up and say anything to the town board?
Sure. Tom Crellin, one of the owners of Chatham Brewing. And we have requested, and the village board last week, and they approved our request for use of the lot for a 10th anniversary party Saturday, March 4th from 11 to 6 p.m. Putting up a tent and having music, etc. in the lot. Of course, weather dependent. If there's we finally get snow this year, and it makes it impossible to use the lot. We come up with an alternate plan.
Will they have a St. Patrick's Day theme?
Yeah, no, we're debating between Mardi Gras, which is the weekend before, but focusing on our 10 years. So hopefully it'll be a nice thing, a little smaller scale than the fall Oktoberfest that the village jointly sponsored, but still should bring a nice turnout into the village.
Does anybody have any questions for Tom? We've done this before with Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
And that worked out very well.
Same questions as usual, the insurance and stuff is in place,
Yep.
certificates.
We have his license, his insurance certificate. Has the village come before the village yet?
Yes, last week they had their meeting, they approved it.
I would like to make a change to our form because I guess it's a new form for me, the hold harmless agreement. At the end, it says the term of this agreement shall start and end, at which time the agreement expires, which could imply that the obligation to hold us harmless expires. So if you don't mind modifying that, I just want to make it, I think the event shall start and end, but the agreement really continues, because it's if someone gets hurt and then a year later you go, this is what I'm needed for. So if you don't mind, we can just modify that, you can just re-sign it. Okay, so I guess the event is going to be at 12 p.m. to 12 p.m. on 3/11/12.
Yeah, actually, I guess we need to update that form because our plans changed since we initially submitted.
They did, okay.
Yeah, so it's not a report.
So when is it going to be?
So it would be 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. on 3/4.
To 11 a.m. to 6 p.m.?
Yep. On March 4th.
On March 4, 2017. The term of the use, and we'll modify the form for the future. So it'll say the term of this use shall start on 11 a.m. March 4th and end 6 p.m. March 4th, period. So if you can initial that, and then we sign here, just initial, and then once you re-sign, you're changing the, just next to it, that's all. Okay, and then your company, responsible party, it's the same company, so, yep, you're the same. Okay, we'll use this one for
Before you go, let's make a couple of comments.
yeah. Okay. I can go make one now. Just, I don't know if I'm capable of doing it, but I can try. I think I can do it.
Right there in the right.
Here.
There you go. Just lift it. Lift the
In my
lid.
office. What do you do?
Let's see how he does.
But I think
Okay.
Start.
By the way, we think the idea of having the electric vehicle charger in that lot would be fantastic. It's something we've explored independently, and it seemed like for ownership, it would have to be something you all would have to work on with the village. But
Have you had inquiries? Have you had inquiries about?
we have a couple of regular customers with electric vehicles, and
That's good to know.
been told that it's also a great way to promote the village, because they now upload automatically in the GPS system, so people who are in the region, like on the I-90, would know that there were available stations, so it would bring customers
Charge
into
the
the
car, have something to eat or drink?
Yeah, well, it just seems like a win-win situation, and then again, is doing it at the other end of town, yeah.
Congratulations, Tom.
10 years.
Thank you. You've done well.
I did pretty well. Occasionally.
Considering where he started in the alley, to where you are now,
Yeah.
something else.
And it's been that long?
Yeah, we had our launch was.
You have a little gray in your beard.
We had our launch party in February in 2007 at Tom Hope's old pub.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
How long have you been at the current location?
4 years.
Very good.
Well, we have a resolution when we get to the resolution portion of the meeting that we'll vote on. Thank you, Tom.